Hello students, welcome to this session. Hope you are all doing good. So in this session, we are looking into Venn diagrams, the actual questions of AP ICET 2025. Okay. Right. Now, before we go to the questions, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, Time for ICET, and do not forget to hit the bell icon for all the notifications of the videos we upload in our channel. Okay. Okay. So now coming to this. These questions are based on the following information. Okay. So in a class of 180 students, so we know this is mu. 110 students passed in chemistry and 120 students failed in mathematics. Now see, so passing in chemistry, if I take capital A, this is chemistry pass. I'll take as it is, which is 110. Now B, okay, if I take circle A as passing in chemistry, I should also take circle B as passing in mathematics. So maths pass, how many? But here maths pass is not given. 120 students failed in maths is given. Okay, we know the total students. You subtract the number of failed students from total, gives you the passing students in that subject. So 180 minus 120, that gives you 60. Those are the number of students who passed in mathematics. That is what you need to understand. From the total, you subtract the students who failed in that subject, gives you the students who have passed in that subject. Understood? And then 30 students failed in both. Okay, n value is given 30. So these are the values that are available to us. So now let's take the diagram. Okay. So if I take a two-set diagram, so this is 180, that is mu. Now capital A we know is 110, capital B we know is 60, and N we know is 30. So small a, small b and G are missed. Okay, so these are the values that are available to us. So now what we can do first, we can go for A union B, which is nothing but mu minus G, which is nothing but 180 minus 30 gives you 150. Now I can also make use of the formula A union B is capital A plus capital B minus A intersection B. Why? Because we have capital A, capital B, A intersection B is what? G. So from there we get G value, correct? So this is G. And we have this value, this is 110, this is 60. So from there we get G, this A union B we know is 150. So we have 170 minus 150, that gives you 20. So 20 students have passed in both the subjects, correct? Then from there we can take small a value. Small a is exclusive, which is nothing but total minus common. So 110 minus 20 gives you 90. Means 90 students have passed in only chemistry, correct? Same way small b. Small b is exclusively only mathematics pass. So total pass in mathematics minus the common gives you the exclusive. So 60 minus 20 is 40. So these are the three unknowns that we need for answering the questions now. Correct? Okay. So now let's look into the questions. How many students in the class failed in at least one subject? See, when he says failed in at least one, so at least is minimum 1. Means you need to consider people who have failed in exactly 1 plus people who have failed in both, because there are only 2 subjects. Now the region understanding is always important. What are the elements? Because once you understand the region that is asked, you can know what elements to include and exclude. So what is failed in exactly 1? See, small a and small b are the students who have passed in exactly 1. Then they should have failed in exactly 1, because passing in both is G, failing in both is N. So A and B represents people who have passed in exactly 1. At the same time, they are the people who represents failing in also exactly 1. Because A represents passing in only chemistry, means failing in only math. B represents passing in only math, means failing in only chemistry. correct? So this is nothing but a plus b, and both is nothing but n. In other words, you can simply take it as mu minus g, because mu is nothing but a plus b plus g plus n. So you add a plus b plus n, or you take mu minus g, you will get your same answer. See, what is a plus b? 90, 40, 130 plus n, 30. Correct? N is 30. So 130, 30, 160. Or from 180, you subtract g, 20. That gives you 160. So both are same. Choice 2. So understand what is asked, so that in the diagram you will know what region it represents. From there you can conclude what to include and exclude the elements. Got it? Similarly, how many students failed in chemistry only? So people who failed in chemistry only means people who have passed in maths only. So people who have passed in maths only is B, small b value, which is nothing but 40. Small b value. Failing in chemistry only is passing in math only. Failing in math only is passing in chemistry only. Correct? Exactly one subject. So B value we need 40. Then how many students failed in math but passed in chemistry? So failing in math but passing in chemistry is passing in chemistry only. So that is 90. Because there are only two subjects. Failed in math but passed in chemistry. See, passing in chemistry only. So understand the region, understand the meaning, so that you will know what region it represents. From there you can consider what elements to include or exclude. Got it? So small a value. Chemistry only, passing 90. Okay. Next, how many students passed in at least one subject? See, same thing. Passed in at least one. So at least one is nothing but minimum one. Just like we considered failed in at least one, passing in at least one, same. So that means we have to consider passed in exactly one subject plus passed in both subjects, because maximum there are only two subjects. So passing in exactly one is nothing but a plus b. A is passing in chemistry only, B is passing in math only. Correct? And passing in both is G. So a plus b plus G. In other words, it is A union B. In other words, I can also write it as mu minus n. So basically, you don't need to find ABG, because in our question, we found out ABG. Correct? So once you know passing in at least one subject in a two-set Venn diagram is A union B, we get direct our answer, A union B, mu minus G. Because, sorry, mu minus n, my bad. Sorry. Here this is not G, mu minus n. So from the total mu, you remove n, gives you A union B. Okay? So it is mu minus n. I wrote the value correctly, but I put the wrong element there. Okay? So mu minus n. So you already have mu value, n value. Directly you will get the answer there. Understanding the point? So you just need to know what region it represents, so that you can find alternate ways to get an answer. So it is mu minus n, 150. By adding these three also, see, 90, 40, 130, 20, 150. Both are same. Correct? So the answer to this is 150. Choice 2. Okay. Then how many students passed in exactly one? So passing in exactly one is A plus B. We have 90 plus 40. You get 130. Correct? Right. So those were the 5 questions you had in that set. The next again, in a survey it is found that 65% of the residents of colony X have two-wheelers, while 45% of the residents have four-wheelers. 20% of the residents do not have any of these, and 70 residents have only two-wheelers. See, the word only is very, very important in Venn diagrams. So when he says only two-wheelers, then it is inside the circle. Without that, if he says two-wheelers, four-wheelers, it is the entire circle. Understood? So everything is given in percentages. Let us take it. So it's again a two-set Venn diagram. So you have capital A, capital B, small a, small b, G, N, and mu. So since percentages are there, I'll take mu as 100%. Correct. Then he says 65% of the residents have two-wheelers. So capital A, let's consider as two-wheelers. So capital A is 65%. Then let's say capital B is four-wheelers. And he says 45% of the residents have four-wheelers. So capital B is 45%. And then he says 20% of the residents do not have any of these. So N value is given 20%. And then 70 residents have only two-wheelers. So small a value is given as 70, not percentage, number. 70 residents have only two-wheelers. Now usually when percentages are given, there will be one element given without a percentage like this. So now we have to calculate how much percentage is small a, so that from there I can get all the values using percentages. Okay, so ignoring the small a, when you look at the remaining, it is very similar to the previous set. Same values are given but in percentages. So same thing we approach with. So we take A union B, which is mu minus N, which is 100%. Everything is in percentages, minus 20%. So mu minus N. So A union B gives 80%. So then we take the formula A union B, because capital A and capital B are there. We can make use of capital A plus capital B minus A intersection B. So this is 80% equals capital A is 65%, then capital B is 45%, then A intersection B is G. So from here I get G. So this is 110% minus 80%, that gives 30%. So 30% of the residents have both the wheelers, two-wheelers and four-wheelers. And from there I can get A, because now from the total, if I remove the common, I'll get the exclusive, correct? So from the total, that is 65, you remove 30, that gives you 35%. So 35% means 70 residents. Then 1% means how many? Gives 2 residents, correct? Now if 1% is 2 residents, 100% is 200 residents. 45% means 45 into 2, 90 residents. 20% means 20 into 2, 40 residents do not have any of the vehicles. That's all. Once you know that number represents how much percentage, you will get your remaining. And from here I can get B also. Total is 45%, from that you remove common. So B will be 15%. That's all. We have our unknowns in percentages. Now we can look into the questions, because now I know 1% means how many. Correct? So that is how you do this. And then we can look into the questions. Okay. Then questions. How many residents were surveyed? Mu value. We know 1% is 2 residents, 100% means 200 residents directly. So mu value is asked. Know what is asked, then you can know from the diagram what elements to include and exclude. That is all you need to understand in Venn diagrams. Got it? Now, how many residents have two-wheelers? He's not saying only two-wheelers. He says two-wheelers. Capital A value is asked. We know it is 65%. So 65 into 2, 130. That's available in fourth option. Capital A is asked. Correct? Then, how many residents do not have any one of these? So N value, we know N value is 20%. So 20 into 2, 40. That's available in choice 2. Correct? Then how many residents have exactly one? Exactly one is small a plus small b. Right? So what is small a and small b? 35, 15. Gives you 50. So 50 into 2. 100. 100 residents. Then how many residents do not have four-wheelers? See, when he says do not have four-wheelers, understand from the diagram. See, this is four-wheelers. When he says do not have four-wheelers, all the elements outside of this circle should be considered. That means A and N also. Don't just consider A. If I consider A, then it means what? Do not have four-wheelers but have two-wheelers. That is A. But the question is do not have four-wheelers. N also do not have four-wheelers. That is why it is A plus N. So understand the region. You will know what to include and exclude. Got it? So it is A plus N, which is 35 plus 20. Correct? So this is small a plus N. So we know small a is 70 residents, 20 means 40 residents, 110. So that is what you choose, 110 as my answer. Got it? Yes. So these are the 5 questions for this set. Okay, next. A locality of 500 members was surveyed based on the newspapers they read. They read 3 newspapers, namely Hindu, Times and Indian Express. 200 Indian Express, 300 Hindu, 250 Times. And 50 of them do not read any of the newspapers, which is equal to those who read all the 3 newspapers. Okay, so 3 set Venn diagram. Let's consider. So capital A, capital B, capital C, N, mu, small a, B, C, D, E, F and G. These are the elements you get. Correct? Now we have 3 newspapers, Hindu, Times and Indian Express, whichever is given first. See, whichever order you want, you can take. So 200 is for Indian Express. So I'll take Indian Express as A, that is 200. Then 300 Hindu, 250 Times. So B is, I'll take Hindu. So that is 300. And C is Times of India. So 200, 300 and 250 read Times of India. So capital C. So capital ABC values are available to us. And then 50 do not read any of the newspapers, which is N, equal to those who read all the 3 newspapers, G. So we have N equals G, 50. So A value we have 200, B value we have 300 and C value we have 250. So these are the values available to us. Correct? So we need to find the remaining values so that I can work on my questions. So let's see. Now since you have A, B, C, correct? Mu is also not given to us. Sorry, mu is given, my bad. So a locality of 500, sorry. So mu is also given to us. So mu is 500. Okay, now since mu is given, so I can look into mu is nothing but A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus N. This total is 500, correct? So from here we know G plus N is nothing but 100, 50 each. So from here I get A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F. This total is 400. So equation 1, let us consider. Then what else we have? We do have capital A, capital B, capital C. So let's take that. So what do we get here? We get capital A plus capital B plus capital C. So capital A is 4 elements, capital B is 4 elements, capital C is 4 elements. So basically you will get 1 time of ABC plus D is appearing in both AB, E is appearing in both BC, F is appearing in both AC. So that means it is 2 times of D plus E plus F and G is appearing in all the 3. So it is 3 times of G. So this total is 200, 300, 500 plus 250, 750. So now what is the difference between, A union B union C and A plus B plus C? So when I say A union B union C, every element should be added only 1 time. Means in A union B union C, what do you get? A, B, C 1 time, D, E, F 1 time, G 1 time. But in A plus B plus C, A, B, C 1 time, D, E, F 2 times, G 3 times. That's the difference. That is how you remember. Okay. Now, so from here, we know 3 times of G. This is nothing but 150. Correct? So if we take on the other side, I'll get A plus B plus C plus 2 times of D plus E plus F equals 750 minus 150 is going to be 600. Correct? Now here, if I can split this as 1 time of DEF plus another time of DEF. And here you have A plus B plus C. So this is nothing but the equation 1, 400. So from there, correct? So from here, sorry. So from here, what do we get? The remaining is D plus E plus F, and that will be 200. And then you substitute this D plus E plus F again in this equation 1. So from there you will get A. So from there you will get A plus B plus C is another 200, because combining these two is going to give you equation 1, which is 400. So I can only find the collective values of A, B, C, D, E, F, not individual values, because those are the only information. I have made use of every information available. Are you understanding? Okay, so this is what we need to now look into the questions. Okay, so let's see. Now, how many read exactly 2? So we know what is exactly 2? D plus E plus F, because that is the region of exactly 2, correct? That is 200. Then how many of them read exactly 1? Exactly 1 is nothing but A plus B plus C, that is also 200. First option. Then how many of them read at most 2? At most. So at most 2 means maximum 2. So maximum 2 means 2 and less than 2, means we have exactly 2 plus exactly 1 plus exactly 0. So exactly 2 we know is D plus E plus F, exactly 1 we know is A plus B plus C, and exactly 0 is N. So you know D plus E plus F is 200, A plus B plus C is 200, N is 50. So we have 450. You can do this orally. So when you see at most 2, you need to understand 2 and less than 2. Means exactly 2, we know 200. Exactly 1, we know 200. Exactly 0, N, 50. Orally, you can get your answer. Understood? So know what region it represents. You will know what elements to include and exclude. That is all for Venn diagrams. Got it? So we have 450. Next, at least 1. So at least 1. So at least 1 means minimum 1. Means we have exactly 1, exactly 2, and exactly 3, because maximum you have 3. So exactly 1 is nothing but ABC. Exactly 2 is nothing but DEF. And exactly 3 is nothing but G. So basically, in other words, it is mu minus N, which is A union B union C. So you can do it as mu minus N also. So we know mu 500, we know N 50, 500 minus 50, 450. Or you add them, ABC is 200, DEF is another 200, G is 50. That is also 450. Correct? In the earlier case also, you can simply take mu minus G. This is ABC plus DEF and N. G is missing, so mu minus G. It has the same meaning, because mu is 500, G is 50. So 500 minus 50, 450. So know what are the elements, where are they placed, to identify alternate ways. Got it? Yeah. Then how many read at most 1? See, at most 1 is maximum 1. So means exactly 1 and less than 1, which is exactly 0. So basically this is A plus B plus C plus N. So we know A plus B plus C is 200, N we know is 50. So it is 250. Third option. Correct? So these are the 5 questions you have in this set. Okay, there is one more. It says, in a library maintained by a student, there are books on different subjects. It was found that 35 books are on sports, 45 books are on business, 15 books are on current affairs, 14 books are on at least 2 subjects among sports, business and current affairs. 3 books have sports, business as well as current affairs. As well as means and. Okay, as well as means and. Now the last part of the information is very important. So there are 3 sets basically. Okay, So sports is set A, business is set B, and current affairs is set C. Then at least 2 means minimum 2, 2 and more than 2. Exactly 2 plus exactly 3 is given as 14. Correct? And then 3 books are there for all the 3. G is given. And here every book in the library is assumed to contain at least one of sports, business or current affairs. What does this mean? This means n value should be 0. Means that is what is said. Every book is containing at least one of these 3 in them. So n value is 0. Correct? So let's take this. So it's again a 3 set. So capital A, capital B, capital C, N, mu, small a, B, C, then D, E, F, G. So we have A is sports, B is business, and C is current affairs. Correct? So now let's take the values. So 35 is sports, 45 is business. So capital A 35, capital B 45, and 15 books are on current affairs. Capital C is 15. Correct? And then we have 14 books are on at least 2, among at least 2. So D plus E plus F plus G, this is at least 2. Correct? So this is at least 2 among the 3. So this is 14. But mu is not given in this case. There are books on different subjects, he said. Total number of books is not given. Mu is not there. Okay. Then 3 books is all the 3. So G value, okay. So G value is 3. So from here we get D plus E plus F. That is 11. G value is given as 3. And then we know N value is 0. So now, obviously, we cannot individually identify D, E, F. So individually identifying A, B, C is also not possible. But since capital A, B, C are given to me, I can find out small a plus small b plus small c. Very similar to the earlier set, we again take A plus B plus C, which is 1 time of A, B, C plus 2 times of D, E, F plus 3 times of G. So we know this total. Sports, business, current affairs. We have the total 35, 45, 80 plus 15. You have 95. Correct? Now, what we can do? We can take this 2 times of 11 and this 3 times of 3. So this is 22 plus 9. So this is 31. Correct? DEF is 11. So 11 into 2, 22. G is 3. 3 into 3, 9. 22 plus 9, 31. You take on to the other side. From there, I'll get A plus B plus C. Correct? Now, that's the only unknown we have here. A plus B plus C. You take everything onto the other side. We have 95 minus 31. So, basically, that is 64. That's all. We have these values now. Now, we can look into the questions. Mu. How do you get mu? Mu is nothing but you add everything, means A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus N. You will get mu. So 64 plus 11 gives you 75 plus 3. Correct? It gives you 78. So mu basically is 78. So ABC is 64 plus DEF is 11. Correct? 75 plus 3. 78, and N is anyway 0. So mu is 78. So in this particular case, whenever N is 0, mu is same as A union B union C. Whenever N is 0, since N value is 0, we get mu as it is equal to A union B union C. Correct? Yeah. So these are the values we have. Now let's have a look into the questions. Okay. Right. Now, how many books are there which contain information regarding only one subject? Okay. So only one subject is same as exactly one. So he's talking about exactly one, which is nothing but A plus B plus C. We know 64, choice 2. Correct? So only is same as exactly, both are same. Then what are the total number of books in his library? So mu value is asking 78. Total number of books in the library. Correct? Then how many books contained information regarding exactly 2? Correct. So we know exactly 2 or only 2, which is nothing but D plus E plus F, which is 11. Correct? 11. Then how many books are there which contain information regarding at most 2? So at most 2. So at most is maximum 2. So exactly 2, exactly 1 and exactly 0. So exactly 2 is D plus E plus F, exactly 1 is A plus B plus C, and exactly 0 is N. So basically this is another way of writing mu minus G. So mu is 78, 78 minus G is 3, which gives you 75. Or you add this, we know this is 11, this is 64. So 11 plus 64, 75, because N is 0. Both ways you'll get your answer. Correct? Then if the number of books on only sports is equal to 26. So only sports, we took sports as capital A. So only sports is small a. So if small a is 26, correct? Then how many books are there in the library which are on both business and current affairs, but not sports? Now see what he says. Business and current affairs. See, business and current affairs. And is intersection. Intersection means common, which is G and E. But at the same time, he says not sports. Means you remove G. So he's asking what is E value. Are you understanding the point here? Okay. So both business and current affairs, but not sports. So go circle after circle. Business and current affairs, and is intersection. What is the common region? G and E. But at the same time, he says not sports. So G is coming inside sports also. You remove it. E value he is asking. Okay. So what is E value? Okay. So since a small a value is given, we will take capital A. So what is capital A? A plus D plus G plus F. So we know capital A. What is the value of capital A? 35. Because capital A is ADGF. Correct? So we take capital A. So 35 equals 26 plus D. G we know is 3 and F we don't know. So from here we get D plus F as 35 minus 9. Correct? Which is going to be, sorry, 35 minus 29. So 35 minus 29, 26 plus 3, 29. So 35 minus 29 you get is 6. So D plus F is 6. But what is he asking? He is asking E. But we know, what we know? We know that D plus E plus F total value is 11. So from there, what do I get? E value 11 minus of D plus F. So which is 11 minus of 6. That gives you 5. So E value basically we can have is 5. That is available in the first option. And that is how you get your answer. So that is what I am saying. Understand what is given, what region is asked. Then you will know what to include and how to get your answer. See, logic is, since small a value is given, then compulsorily we need to make use of capital A. From there you will know that there are two unknowns. Then immediately you should know there is a combined value there. So from there we get our unknown value. That is the connection you need to understand. Got it? Okay. Yeah. So first option. So these are the questions you have in this set. All right. So those were your actual questions from Venn diagrams in your AP ICET 2025. Okay. Now before we end the session, do join or subscribe to the YouTube channel Time for ICET and don't forget to hit the bell icon for all the notifications of the videos we upload in the channel. And these are our other social media links for Telegram channel and for YouTube. Links are given in the description box. Now for classroom coaching, do contact your nearest time center, and for online courses you can enroll at, this is the link we have. Okay. All right. So that is what we have in this session. Thank you and goodbye.